Hello there. So today we are going to talk about opportunity cost. So the first thing I need to do is define what opportunity cost is. So opportunity cost is simply the value of the next best alternative foregone. Okay, so it is usually known as the hidden cost of everything. Okay, so one may ask, why is opportunity cost important? Well, opportunity cost is important because it helps individuals and businesses to make choices based on the true cost of something. Okay, so the concept of opportunity cost helps them evaluate the true cost of whatever decision you're going to make. Okay, so that's why it is important. Now, one thing you need to note is that opportunity cost is what was given up to get something. Okay, so the cost of something may not just be the price, but the alternative. Okay, so an example will be the opportunity cost of spending time at the bar will be the wages you might have earned if you had stayed at work. Okay, another example of opportunity cost will be money spent on a fancy meal in a restaurant, okay, which could have been spent on, let's say, an economics training course. Okay, so those are some examples of opportunity cost. Now, one key fundamental principle in economics is that every choice has an opportunity cost. Okay, so that said, let's think of a case where it might be reasonable to refer to the opportunity cost as a price. Okay, so like in the example I gave earlier about the money spent on a fancy meal, $300 spent on a motorbike can be described as an opportunity cost because that $300 measures the other consumption forsaken. Okay, so some prices may not accurately capture true opportunity cost. Okay, such as when the cost of time is involved. An example will be attending college. Okay, so when you attend college, you have some out of pocket costs, which includes the cost of your books, tuition, food, housing. Okay, and then another cost to attending college will be hours used to study. Okay, so it is an opportunity cost because you could have been working with those hours that you used to study. Okay, so with that said, let's look at how to calculate opportunity cost. Okay, so in this example, we are going to look at two roommates. So these two roommates are, we'll call one Helen and then we'll call the other roommate Nana. Okay, so they are supposed to, so they have two tasks that they are supposed to work on. Okay, so these tasks are vacuuming the house and then making a meal. Okay, so Helen says she can vacuum the house in 4 hours or make a meal in 2 hours, and then, sorry, did I say Jamie? Nana says she can vacuum the house in 4 hours and then make a meal in 1 hour. So I'm going to draw a table so that you see this. Okay, so how will we calculate opportunity cost in this case? Okay, so I will write down the formula for opportunity cost when you are considering the hours of a task, and then I'll also write down the formula of opportunity cost when you are considering the task itself. Okay, so let's start with the hours of the task, since that is what I've written here. So opportunity cost Okay, so now let's look at the other formula. All right, so now that we have the formula down, let's go through the example with Helen and Nana. Okay, so I want to calculate Nana's opportunity cost of cooking. Okay, so what do we know about Nana? So Nana can vacuum the house in 4 hours. Okay, so the house, and then cooking a meal. Okay, so she can vacuum the house in 4 hours and then cook a meal in 1 hour. Okay, so with the formula, it will simply be the hours it takes to complete the task, which is 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour here, right? Using the formula, not this formula, the previous formula. Okay, the previous formula with the hours. Okay, so you may have to rewind a bit to look at that formula. It's just the reciprocal of this one. Okay, so it's 1 over 4 vacuuming. All right. Okay, so that's using the formula. But then when we look at this, let's try to make sense of this. Let's use some ratio and proportion here. Okay, so Nana is able to vacuum a house in 4 hours. And she's able to cook a meal in 1 hour. So if in 4 hours she's able to vacuum a house, then what is 1 hour? In 1 hour, what will she be able to do? Okay, so 4 hours to 1 house. 1 hour to 1 meal. Okay, so if 4 hours is to 1 house, okay, in 1 hour, right? So this will be if more less divides, if less more divides. Okay, so in 1 hour it will be 1/4 of the house. Okay, that's the vacuuming. Okay, 1/4 the vacuuming of the house. Okay, now let's look at a different example where we would consider the actual output. Okay, so in this example here, we are looking at goods produced by 2 countries. Okay, so the 2 countries, let's say the 2 countries are USA and then Mexico. Okay, so they produce 2 goods, good A and good B. Okay, so let's consider USA. Okay, so I'm just gonna put values in here for all of them. So let's say USA can produce 30 of good A, 10 good B, 20 of good A, and then 15 of good B. Okay, so what will be the opportunity cost? Okay, so using the formula, let's think of the opportunity cost of USA for good B. Okay, for good B. Okay, so it's okay, so this is for USA. Okay, so using the formula, it will be the opposite. Okay, so it will be 30 over 10 good A. Okay, so it will be 3 good A. Okay, so that's using the formula. Pretty straightforward, right? But then let's think about it intuitively. Okay, so if USA produces 30 good A, okay, and then 10 good B. Let me erase this so that we have more space. Okay, so back to USA. Okay, so for good A, you have 30, and then for good B, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Okay, for good B, you have 10. All right, so we already established that the opportunity cost will be 3 of good A. Okay, so let's think about this. Okay, so if given the same resources, USA is able to produce 30 good A and then 10 good B. Okay, so what is 1 good B? Okay, so for 1 good B, right, if more less divides, okay, so here it will be 1 out of 10 times 30 good A, okay, equal to 3 good A. All right, I think this makes sense. Okay, so the concept of opportunity cost leads us to 2 concepts, which I wouldn't discuss thoroughly in this video. So these 2 concepts are the production possibility frontier, which is usually shortened or abbreviated as the PPF, and then comparative advantage. Okay, so in the videos that I will create later, you would learn that the PPF, or the production possibilities frontier, is simply a diagram that shows the productively efficient combinations of 2 products that an economy can produce given the resources it has available. And then you would also learn that comparative advantage is the ability of a country to produce a good, okay, given the same resources at a lower opportunity cost. Okay, so the emphasis is a lower opportunity cost with comparative advantage. Okay, so we would use the calculation that we've described here. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up our discussion so far with some of the limitations of opportunity cost. Okay, so there are 2 major limitations that I think I can think of now. So the first one is not all factors can be quantified. Okay, so opportunity cost cannot capture intangibles. Okay, and these intangibles could be in the form of personal satisfaction, it could, or some other qualitative aspects of decision making. Okay, so personal satisfaction, you can think of brand, reputation. Okay, there are so many factors that can't be quantified. Okay, so opportunity cost is not able to capture that. And then another limitation is, because opportunity cost is useful in decision making, it doesn't take into account the fact that future outcomes may be unpredictable. Okay, so that's another limitation. Okay, so that wraps up our discussion for today. Thank you.